Hi everyone, I hope you all are doing great. Today our lesson will be sentence creation, and this class is for the G3, G4, and G5. So first you have to log in using the aplusstudent.com, and you can actually find sentence creation under the grade 4. So you go to grade 4 and you can find this chapter. The lesson will be what? Order the words to create a sentence and create a sentence based on the model. Alright, so we will start now. Sentences are made up of different parts that follow a pattern. So they are made up of different parts that follows a pattern. So we have the standard order for declarative sentence, which is the statement, is subject, verb, objects. Words that tell where or when often come at the end of the sentence. All right. So we can look at this box and then we have what? Subject, verb, object, and where or when. So this is the right pattern that it follows. So Erin baked a cake. Now, this is just subject, verb, object. Elephants live with their family. Now, this is subject, verb, where or when. My brother Marcus will read the book at the library. So this is a very complete pattern which has the where or when, object, the verb, and then the subject. So basically it has the subject, it has the verb in the sentence, it has the object, and it has where or when. Okay? So remember, all sentence starts with a capital letter and end with a punctuation like period. So all sentence starts with capital letter and end with a period. All right, so let's look at some examples for this. We have the first, which would be what? Put the titles in order to make a sentence. So we have in a jar, old coins collect Pedro. So basically, you have to fix this sentence in the right order using the subject, verb, objects pattern, and then you have to add the where or when if you have that in the sentence. Okay, so we have words here. I'm not sure why you guys cannot hear me, but can you hear me right now? Can you hear me? All right, so since you couldn't hear me, I will just explain the tutorials again. So, like I was saying that to create a sentence, you need to follow the subject, verb, object rule and pattern. And sometimes you will have the where or when, okay? So, where or when something is happening. So, we have these tricks perform their favorite the acrobats. Now you can see that the sentence is all over the place. So you'd have to be the one to arrange it according to the subject, verb, and the object. So we have the acrobat perform their favorite trick. We have also scientists find tortoises in sedimentary rock. We have measures a rain gauge rainfall. Then we have a rain god measures rainfall. So this doesn't have where or when. All right. So some of them will not have the where or when it's taking place or happening. It just depends on the sentence. So you have to create them following the subject, verb, object pattern. Okay. So we have this one. Her speech, the mayor is practicing. So what do you think is the right order to arrange this sentence? So we have what the mayor is practicing her speech. Okay. All right, we have rare minerals Earth's crust contain. What is the right one here? So we have Earth's crust contains rare minerals. Your rib cage, your lungs protect. What's the right sentence creation here? All right, so your rib cage protects your lungs. Startled the loud siren me. Can you create the sentence? So the loud siren startled me. This one doesn't have where or when. So commanded Jackie's purple hair our attention. What's the right one here? So Jackie's purple hair commanded our attention. Okay, we have the windows rattled and earthquake. What's the right other here? So an earthquake rattled the windows. Okay, so we have black and white striped zebras have. So we have zebras have black and white stripes. So second. All right, that's it for the particular lesson, which is utter the word to create a sentence. We'll move on to the next lesson. All right, it will be create a sentence based on the model. All right, so we have to make your writing more interesting, you have to try to use a mix of different kinds of sentences. You can learn to make new kinds of sentences by imitating sentences that you've read, just to make your writing more interesting. So, to imitate a model sentence, first look at its form or pattern. So, if you want to imitate a sentence, you look at the pattern, the form, then you ask what sort of words, phrase, and clauses the sentence uses and what order they are in. Then create a new sentence following the same pattern. So, you have to look at the form, the pattern, and how the sentence comes, then you create your own. Okay, so we have the mouse's name was Tucker, and he was sitting in the opening of an abandoned drain pipe in the subway station at Times Square. So we have to, create another sentence from this, right? So the new sentence could be what? The old ship is called Old Ironside, and it can be seen in a dry dock at a museum in Charlestown, Massachusetts. So you can see that both sentences use and to make a compound sentence. They also both use words like in and at to help where the subject is. Okay? So they use the in and at and it tells us where the subject is. So basically you can see that there's some similarities between both sentences. All right, let's look at some example. So we have read the model sentence from Wendy Massey's The Candy Makers. You might think that if your bedroom were inside a candy factory, your bed would be shaped like a lollipop. So use the words and phrases to create a new sentence. So you can say something like new sentence. One would assume that if you told your sister to stay away, your sister wouldn't go in your room. So now you can see that there's some similarities between this sentence and this. Okay? It uses if to show the difference, and it also has your and your here. So when we create a sentence, we have to make sure that it's similar to the main sentence. So we are imitating the pattern. Okay? When Megan and Ivan were in the same desk group, neither one of them could get any work done. So we have what? When Mitchell and I woke up Saturday morning, both of us wanted to build a snowman. So you can see that there's some imitation that is gotten from the main sentence to the new sentence created. Now, this is very important for you when you have to do some writing, so you don't have to make sure that you copy the same thing that you can see. You can imitate the sentence, all right, and just pick out the main words that are used, and then you can make your sentence like that. Okay, so we have. Since I'm such a picky eater, my mother feeds me peanut butter sandwiches at every meal, including breakfast and midnight snacks. So you have to use this sentence to create your own sentence. Would you say, since I can't see, my guide dog comes with me everywhere, including school and summer camp? Or my guide dog comes with me everywhere since I can't see, including school and summer camp? So what is the right answer here? So we have the first one. So we have out on the lake, rattlesnakes and scorpions find shade on the rocks and in the hole dug by the campers. So you have to create your own sentence. We have in the early morning, men and women run around the track and stretch in the grass. Men and women run around the track and stretch in the grass in the early morning. So which of this is similar to the first one? So we have the first. With dawn's first ray of light, a morning bell chimed brightly, waking and leave from his daydream. So is it first or second? So we have the first one. There were just a lot of vegetables rolling around on the floor, tomatoes and onions and green peppers. So is it first or second? All right, so we have the second. I was not yet 6 months old, a gargling leggy colt who had never been farther than a few feet from his mother. First or second? So we have the first. All right. There was once an old castle that stood in the middle of a deep, gloomy wood, and in the castle lived an old fairy. First or second? So we have first one. All right. That's it for our lesson on the sentence creation. Can you tell me if you have any questions? All right, so since we have no questions, we will end here. You will try to complete this lesson if you haven't done it. See you next time. Bye, everyone.